if you down in Newport, then Lord, Lord, you better listen in. And if you up in Dayton, then you better hear me out. And if you downtown on Main, then listen to what I say. Cause everybody out there, alright, it's time for City Nights. Woo-hoo. Go down in the Queen City, we got rock and roll. And downtown in the Queen City, we got the blues. And if you wanna swing, then come on and do that thing. Oh, everybody out there, alright, it's time for City Nights.
Man, I wish you guys could see the studio tonight. As you can see, I am flying solo. I am your host, Jessica Bloom, and I'm here with amazing guests tonight, The Variables, and you won't even believe what you're going to see, because it's a play that is going to be starting next week in Newport. These guys wrote it in 2 years. This is absolutely incredible. There's so much cool stuff going on around here. We have Beer Fest going on this weekend. We have, oh Lord, who knows? You know, I wish you could see this whole studio. It's really fun. But so we're going to be in Newport. I wish I could go down to see it next week. I'm probably going to make my boyfriend and everybody else come along with me, and hopefully you guys are all going to come down and we'll have a little party down there and go see this wonderful play. So before I get too stumbly over my words, I'm going to kick it over to Mike, who's going to tell you about this play that he's written and all he's going to do. Thank you.
Good evening, Northern Kentucky. My name's Mark Moats, and I'm here with Jared Ryan on the keyboard, Stephen Horton, Victoria McDevitt, and Jen Drake, and we're going to do, I'm not going to do it, I just sit and type. They're going to do a couple numbers from our new musical called Variables, which opens February 21st at the Thompson House. This is a project Jared and I have spent a couple of years on, and we've been rehearsing for a couple of months, and we're really excited to get going. The general story is that of 5 guys out for a night drinking in a bar, write what you know. So, and like anything else, sex sells. The first number that we're going to do for you is called Sex. And then after that, there's going to be a number called Understand. Both of these numbers show up in Act 2 of the show. Sex a little further into the act. Understand is the number that Jen McGuire, who will be on in just a moment, that's at the top of Act 2. And Jen's the bartender at the place where this show happens. So without further ado, Sex.
What I can tell you that you never will see is a ring for me. 'Cause I will tell you quite definitively, the milk's free. And I can see the way you look judgingly, which is fine by me. But don't pretend that you don't think constantly I'm not alone by any stretch in liking its effects. Sex, it isn't that complex. And when the flesh connects, who objects? It's just sex, taste and scent and sound. I can't wait to get down and really go to town. Heaven knows, curl your toes with good sex.
What I can tell you that I'm hoping to see in the guy for me, something more than raw masculinity turns my key. And I can see you looking questioningly, which is fine by me. But don't pretend I act emotionally. I'm not alone by any length in seeking out the strength. In love is what I'm dreaming of. When two hearts connect with
nights on end, I see 'em all come in. I'm their only friend. Glass full and glass runs dry. Fill up some other guy. Every kind of story plays behind this bar. I see 'em all come in. I know where they are. Glass full and glass poured out. Tipped up and filled with doubt. Guys rarely ever try to ask how or why. They just get on, just get by. They don't see or plan or even understand what they know they can. They can.
Excuse me for one brief interlude. Why refrain? Is this the life you taught your child? A show of faithless smile.
So much for shelter from a rainstorm cloud, or the tattooed lips on a fat girl's hips in a fast food crowd. No shock from a phone call, but my heart still pounds. When you woke up cold, open eyes, no pulse, in a pile of ash, where a bridge you crossed. You forgot your map, like it matters now, when you left the house. With the lights out, this couldn't get dark, burning out your soul, but you were just another match lit. When you passed out on my hammock, you were just another thing that makes me say, God damn it, damn it. 2 points and a dollar ain't gonna keep you warm. Or the tattooed kid you wanna call your friend, so it's so damn loud. 2 birds of a feather, it only took 1 stone. Now you're all alone with your skin and bones. Go ahead, make that call from a drugstore phone. Your ragdoll in ribbons, your passenger pigeon that no longer delivers. With the lights out, this couldn't get dark, burning out your soul, but you were just another match lit. When you passed out on my hammock, you were just another thing that makes me say, God damn it, damn it. All in all, you
stand in the way of the same. Excuse me for one brief interlude. Please refrain. Unless you want perjury, extortion, no culpability goes right hand in hand with a sense of indecency. Lay down the fall, lay down the fall. Let's reinstate her name and bring life against the shame. Choose to fight.
Welcome back, everybody, to our wonderful show, City Nights Tonight, with our great guests, The Variables. I'm here with Jared and Mark. So I want to know a little bit more about what's going on with the musical. First off, tell me when we can start to see it and how long does it run?
We open February 21st at the Thompson House, and
Okay.
there are 6 performances. The 21st at 8 p.m., the 23rd at 2 p.m. and 8 p.m., the 28th at 8 p.m., and then March 2nd, 2 p.m. and 8 p.m.
Fantastic. Well, this seems like such a man's show. You know, it's about a bunch of guys going to the bar. So what inspired you? Was this something that just kind of, you were with your guys and decided to write it?
It's just a lifetime of stories, you know, and I've always been a lover of musical theater, and I just kind of noticed that there wasn't really a lot of shows that focused on men and
Yeah.
the things that men deal with, and so just a lot of funny things with my guy friends just kind of translated naturally to a show.
Great. How many of you wrote it? Was it
Just the two of us,
The two
yeah.
of us. Jared and I did a show together in Newport. We did the Full Monty together. Actually,
Okay.
Jen, who sang Understand earlier, was in that show as well.
great? That's a fun show. That's one of my favorites, actually.
It's a great show. That's
I
what,
had to get naked on stage. It
Yeah.
was
All right.
really exciting.
that was kind
Did
of
you actually
awkward.
get naked when they pulled the hat up?
Well, we had a nude thong on. It was, but it felt pretty naked.
It looked pretty naked from backstage.
Behind, probably. It was even
Yeah,
better.
it was pretty gross, I think. That's all I'm gonna say.
But that's
Oh my
that's where
gosh.
we met, and in promoting that show, we did a series of cabarets.
Yeah.
And Jared played for those, and I was the MC for those, and that's where we kind of struck up our friendship. And
Very cool.
I would write goofy lyrics for parodies of songs and jokes between the acts and stuff. And Jared and I just got to talking, and he described some of his ideas, and I was like, you know, I've always wanted to try to write a show, and
Yeah.
he'd always wanted to, so we thought, oh, what the heck, this can't be too hard.
Yeah.
Wrong.
But yeah, that's how we got together, and that's
Yeah.
how the show came about, and just the two of us.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what were you looking for through your casting and stuff? I know that has to be hard to be picking the right person and, you know.
Well, the first thing we were looking for were people to show up. That was.
That is key.
I mean,
That's harder than you think.
It is because you know when you have a property, and Jared and I, and I'll be honest, and we tell this story. When we first sat down to write, we wanted to write a show that wasn't as bad as Legally Blonde. That was our original goal. You know, and we say that jokingly, but
I resent that statement, you know.
I know, I'm sure. and we say that jokingly because you know that's one of those shows that has mass appeal to nobody.
Yeah,
You know what I
absolutely.
mean? It's very generic, and
Yeah.
there's nothing different in the show than the movie, and we wanted to do something different. That said, Legally Blonde got millions of dollars pumped into it to be on Broadway.
Yeah.
And it has name recognition, and actually
Yeah.
a number of our cast was just in Legally Blonde.
Wow.
You know,
That's so
so
cool.
and it was kind of that was kind of fun for us to go see that.
Yeah.
But when you have something that nobody's ever heard of,
Yeah.
it's a lot more difficult to. So the first thing we
Yeah.
were looking for, we were feeding information everywhere we could just to let people know there were auditions.
Right.
And
Yeah.
when it came time for casting,
Yeah, I mean, you know, then we just started looking for the right people, you know. I mean, all these characters are based off my friends, Moats' friends, and so we were just looking for people that emulated some of the behaviors that,
Yeah.
you know, I was so used to seeing when going out drinking with my buddies. So,
Yeah.
you know, once the guys started showing up, and we're like, oh, that's just like my friend, you know, so-and-so, and
Yeah.
I won't say their names on the air
Yeah.
just so that I don't embarrass them. But, you know, that's, you know, once we got people to show up, which we were lucky, and we actually had to turn people away, which was very exciting,
Yeah.
so.
So I know that you went through this with your casting, but was it even harder finding like your financial backing and that kind of stuff? Because it can't be cheap to put on a musical.
It's not, but we're doing no budget guerrilla theater, which
Very
is
cool.
kind of fun, and we were blessed. Kurt Lee at the Thompson House was very generous
Yeah.
in letting us have the space
yeah.
for rehearsal and to perform. Kurt's a performer himself,
Mm-hmm.
and that's one of the things when they reopened that he was really interested in is getting some more of the arts rather than just screaming death metal. And
That's
Which they
awesome.
have a lot
Yeah.
of.
What, yeah, what, and they do, and that's
And
great.
that's
I
fine.
mean, that's, and I know
Yeah.
this show
Yeah.
does all kinds of. That's why it's kind of neat for
Yep.
us to get to come on this show that has so many different kinds of music.
Yeah,
And that's what's great about this Northern Kentucky community, that there's a room for everybody.
I totally agree, and I think that with something like this, you know, people don't get to see it all the time, and it's nice for you guys to come on and be able to show everybody that there is something like this out there around here.
Right.
Along those lines, what would you think? What if there's somebody trying to get into something like this? You know, what would be any advice aside from don't do it? You know, that you would give to if somebody, you know, wanted to get into the arts and didn't know where to go.
Well, the first thing I would say if you want to write a show, I mean, I've been talking about doing this since I was in high school. And, you know, the thing is that you always wait for the perfect story, or, you know, you try to write the perfect melody. And the truth of the matter is that sometimes you just got to sit down and write. And, you know, anybody who wants to write something, you just need to sit down and write, and you need to start creating, because there's never going to be the perfect story. There's never going to be the perfect song. You're never going to get the perfect, you know, compilation of variables, so to speak, to get it in line. So, you know, finally what I did is I said to Moats, we set a goal, you know, and we said we're going to have a song written by this date, and, you know, no matter what, I showed up with something. I might have hated what I wrote, but it forced me to write something. And so that'd be the first bit of advice that I would give to anybody, is just write, do something. If you want to get involved in the arts, you know, there's plenty of things on Facebook that you can find. But, you know, if you want to create something, just start creating it. And that's the most important thing.
And
Fantastic.
that's been the neat part of this process too. And Jared mentioned that there's been some things that he's written that he didn't like. There's been certainly scenes and lyrics that I didn't like, and those aren't in the show anymore. And that's one of the neat things about this process. And again, very different from doing a show that's already established.
Yeah.
You know, when you do Music Man, for example, you get your script, you know the songs, you learn it, and off you go. But in this, we've workshopped, and our cast has been exceptionally generous and patient with us, because there's stuff that didn't work, and we're just like, all right, cut it. And out it
That's
goes.
it.
That's cool that
And
you can
just-
minus and subtract it, whatever
Yeah.
you want in, and build
Yeah.
the show exactly how you want it.
And
I'm
literally,
so impressed by
that first number that those guys did was added to the show 2 weeks ago.
That's cool.
I mean, it's a brand new number for Michael's character. And, you know, and I would agree with Jared, if you want to create. And then the hard part is finding an outlet for it.
Yeah.
And we were very fortunate that Kurt gave us the space
Yeah.
to do that, because it is expensive.
Yeah.
You know, we were shopping around at other theaters, and it would be thousands and thousands of dollars just to rent the space to rehearse,
Yeah.
let alone to perform and all that stuff. So we've been very fortunate in that regard. But there are good people out there. There are benefactors who will help, and you know, if you have money, great. That's all the better. I mean, you're going to be. You'll be in good shape, but the important thing is to just create. And I think anybody who comes on this show is a creator of some kind.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
Well, where can they look you up or check out the show, a little more information on it?
You can go to thompsonhousenewport.com, ticketweb.com. You can check variables on Facebook. That's a really great way to get information, and that has access to our YouTube channel and background on all the characters and that sort of thing. So variables, the musical on Facebook.
Okay. And what is your next number going to be? Because I cannot wait to let you guys start going again.
We're coming back with it's a show set in the bar, so why not have a song called "Drink"?
Absolutely.
The story behind the song, it's one of the characters, Greg Good, who wasn't up earlier. Goody will be joining us for this number, as will Scott Latham. Goody makes a rather unmanly drink order, and the other characters kind of mock him for it. So that's sort of the story behind Drink, and you'll hear some 70s pop culture reference in this song. And then after that, we're gonna jump into what?
Wake Up.
Wake Up, which is Again, the character that Greg plays, his name is Neil. He's exceedingly happily married, but not happy anywhere else in his life.
Yeah.
And the character Steve, who's kind of the glue, the go-to guy for this group, he's the one who's going to pull him out of his sort of funk.
All right. Well,
So,
I'll let you guys get
yeah.
set up and let's get to it. And I will step out.
Great. So guys,
Beer and whiskey, and for us, the green iguana. Might as well turn in your manly card and get us some Kool-Aid, Kool-Aid from Guyana. Then we drinkity drink, and batten down the hatches, prepare ourselves an open grave. Boy, what do you really think if someone ever catches? There's nothing left of us to save. Drinkity drink, iguanas by the batches. Is that something that you should crave? Boy, I'm shocked that you don't wear pink. Hang out in coffee clutches, 'cause that's the way that you behave. If you like drinking iguanas when you're out on the town, you should skip off to spin class so you can fit in your gown. Stuck in a rut and feeling battered, ostrich-like head in the sand. All day long my thoughts are scattered. Time to wake up. I have nothing that's ever mattered. Not many things turn out as planned. Life is a painting I have splattered. Time to wake up. I'm calling bull crap on you, brother. I don't care if you're feeling bland. You got it going like no other. Time to wake up. Save pity parties for your mother. Unless you'd like a quick backhand. If nothing else, there's one another. Time to wake up. Time to wake up and start the party right here and now. Pour us a drink and make it hearty, and this I vow, this I vow.
Thank you guys so much. I am so freaking excited. I can't even tell you. This is such a different experience where you saw rock bands or R&B or something absolutely fun. So I can't wait to go down and see the show, and I hope you guys cannot wait to go down and see the show. Starting next weekend, Newport. I know you're down there anyway, so just make your way down there. Thank you. All right, guys. Well, I think we have another number we're going to kick to, right? Very good. Well, then let's get this ready, and I want to see my man Mark over here explain what our next number is about, and then I'll be back and introduce you to one of my good friends, and she's going to tell you a little bit about what she's doing. Thank you. Or not.
all right, so Jessica, thank you very much. The last number that we're going to share with you tonight is a number called Lost. We talked about the 5 guys out in the bar. This is a number for our lead character, Steve, portrayed by Scott Latham, Newport's own. And Steve is, he's sort of the glue of the group, and he's the one who gets these guys together and brings them out for the night. And one of the reasons he wants to do that, he's got some issues that he has, and the guys aren't really listening. He doesn't have a real chance to explain what's going on in his life, because as guys often do, they get caught up in drinking and smoking and sex, as we saw earlier, and they don't really pay much attention to him, and he kind of gets honked off and storms off on his own. And when Jared and I were writing this song, we kind of referred to it in Les Miserables terms. Anybody familiar with that show, and most of you I'm sure are, as sort of his on my own moment, and really all that's missing is a lamppost and some rain and a news cap. It's really the exact same song, or not at all. But this is a song called Lost from the musical Variables, opening February 21st at the Thompson House. Scott Latham.
Lost my way along the road. Should have stopped, but I just goed. Made the zig and not the zag. Now where the hell am I? Lost my head back in the bar. Should have stopped, but went this far. Made the choice to flee the scene. Now where the hell am I? I'm lost. How can I